up everyone? Today we're looking at the Charizard Super Premium Collection box. I ordered this one from Costco a few weeks back, waited for it to arrive, got it for a great price considering. Most card shops are selling these for about 180 at the moment, but I managed to pick this up for 120. So I ordered it, it came. Unfortunately, it didn't have any padding in it. So if you purchase it from Costco for the purpose of collection, I wouldn't do that because it took a few dings, but it made it here. And inside this box, we've got a foil Charizard. On this side, we've got the Charmeleon, and on this side, we have the Charmander. Now, these appear to be from the 151. Even though it is the Charizard, it is stamped with the Black Star promo. However, the Charmander and the Charmeleon are both numbered, even though they're foils. So, yeah, it's a nice little addition to my 151 collection. Anyway, we also have this Charizard figurine in here, which will look great on the shelving behind me that I've been slowly setting up. And we have 10 Pokemon TCG booster packs. You can see we've got 5 on this side with Charmander, 5 on this side with Charmeleon. These Pokemon packs are Obsidian Flames, Stellar Crown, Twilight Masquerade, Temporal Forces, and Paradox Rift. Now, I don't really collect any of those. However, massive Charizard fan, grew up in the 90s. I grew up collecting the base set. As a kid, I got every single base card set except for the Blastoise, which I'm still chasing. But today, we're gonna open up this box, we're gonna go through it, we're gonna have a nice close look up of everything inside, and we're gonna see what we pull. All right, so first off, out of the bat, we've got the Charizard little figurine here with the Charizard EX Black Star promo. I'll give that a look to that camera. Hopefully you can see that good. Let's have a quick look at the Charizard itself. Oh, that's nice. All right, we might just sit him there while we start going through everything else in the box. All right, my Charizard EX card. So now we are down to 2 sleeves, and we have each one of the booster packs that I mentioned before in each side. Now these are definitely some older Scarlet and Violet sets. There still is some wicked pulls in these. So I reckon we separate these up. All right, and I reckon let's start with Obsidian Flames. Now, this particular one, the chase card, is that beautiful Charizard. It's currently going for nearly $400 US as a PSA 10. Let's see what we get. No love on the first one, unfortunately. Or on the second one.
What are you gonna do
So
about it?
we didn't manage to pull the Charizard, unfortunately. However, we'll move on now to Temporal Forces. So the chase card in Temporal Forces is the Raging Bolt, currently going for about $210 US as a PSA 10. Whee! Well, we got something. A Dueling?
Yes! 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 Yes!
We also got a Gouging Fire EX. That is a beautiful card. Check that one out. That is very pretty.
I have never seen this card in person before, but the artwork and the colour is absolutely stunning. Visually, it just looks incredible. Ungraded, this card goes for just shy of $20 US and $110 as a PSA 10. A little about dealing. The turning of the season changes the colour and scent of this Pokemon's fur. Its form changes depending on the season. This possibly explains the inspiration behind the colourful artwork, with the left side of the card representing summer, the middle winter, and the right side spring. Either way, I just love it. When we get close up, we can see the condition of this card is absolutely mint. There's no scratches, dings, or marks of any sort. When it comes to centering, according to the PSA website, a Gem Mint 10 is virtually a perfect card. It says, a PSA Gem Mint 10 card must be free from staining of any kind, but an allowance may be made for a slight printing imperfection, if it doesn't impair the overall appeal of the card. The image must be centered on the card within a tolerance not to exceed approximately 55-45% on the front and 75-25 on the reverse. From my research, and please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, there is no set border size for Pokemon cards, and typically it can vary slightly from set to set and even print run to print run. The most important thing is the border is as close to the same size as possible all the way around. Looking at the centering on this card with the naked eye, it does look very close to center. So I downloaded this border checker I found on Reddit that was made by Legisnoot, I think that's how I pronounce it, and by going by this measurement, it appears as though the left side border is about 5mm and the right side is about 6mm, so very close. But also my lining up of this measuring tool might be slightly off. But regardless, that's as close to a 55-45 split as you can get. Top and bottom is almost the same, with the bottom measuring 5mm and the top measuring 6mm. Again, that's about a 55-45 split. Now let's look at the back. Condition-wise, there's very little whiting on this card's edges, which is one of the most frustrating things about Pokemon card collecting. Pulling a perfect card and then turning it over and there's whiting all over the back edges that automatically would disqualify it from a PSA 10. There does appear to be the smallest amount of white on the top and bottom left, and maybe even a smaller white mark on the bottom right, but definitely not enough to stop me from sending it off for grading. According to what we read on the PSA website, they seem to have a little bit more wiggle room for imperfect centering on the back. Although going by these measurements, the left and the right are both around 6mm, with the bottom measuring about 7mm and the top measuring about 8mm. So this card is no doubt a contender for a Gem Mint 10, and I think when I finally get around to sending off my collection PSA, this card will be in there.
Now let's see if we can get that Raging Bolt. Oh, hello Gengar EX. Another nice card.
I love Gengar. I'm a 90s kid who used to buy base set packs at my local Toys R Us and watch Pokemon on Cheese TV before school every morning, and Gengar is just one of those OG Pokemon, so finding a card with him on it always gives me warm fuzzy feelings. And this card not only looks amazing, but just like the dealing card, its condition is pretty amazing too. Not a scratch or mark anywhere on the front, but what about the centering? Again, it's basically perfect. It appears to be 5mm on the left and 6mm on the right, the top measuring 6mm and the bottom measuring 5mm. Now let's turn it over. The edges look good, no noticeable widening. When we put this measuring tool on it, the left and right measure pretty close. The left side and right side both appear to be around 6mm, and the top and bottom both appear to be about 7mm. But again, the margins are so close, and lining it up on screen can be quite difficult. This is not an official measurement by any means. The purpose of this is to just kind of give me an idea where I stand, but this is definitely potentially a contender for PSA grading.
Now on to Stellar Crown. The chase card in this is technically the Terrapagos, however the Squirtle is a very close second, and to be honest I've always been a fan of Squirtle, so I'd probably prefer the Squirtle if I was to choose one. Oof, unfortunately nothing out of that one. Come on, Squirtle. Squirtle, Squirtle. Nothing out of that one. Now, Paradox Rift. So the chase card in Paradox Rift is the Gruden number 199. PSA 10 goes for about $350 US, ungraded about 73. Let's see what we get. Nothing out of that one. Oi! Roaring Moon EX. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, last but not least, Twilight Masquerade. So the chase card in this one is the Greninja EX. Looks like ungraded, it goes for $265 and $760 at a PSA 10, but that beautiful Eevee card also comes in the set, which is sort of next in line in terms of what it's worth, at $178 at a PSA 10, $50 at a raw card level. But we want the Greninja EX. Come on, give us the chase. Nothing out of that one. Can we get it on the lucky last? Unfortunately not. However, we did get a couple of nice pulls. I am quite happy with Dealing and Gengar EX, but Roaring Moon EX as well. Not a bad little pull. Very happy with that. The Charizard Super Premium Collection Box. That's it. What did you think? Have you got one of these? Let me know what you managed to pull in the comments. Until next time.